Welcome to the Yoga Studies Institute. My name is Christina, and I'm looking forward to leading you through a 60-minute Vinyasa yoga practice to build heat from within, to shift prana in our body, and ultimately transform our state of mind. We will focus on relieving tension in our shoulders and hips, linking breath with movement to strengthen the body-mind connection. The goal of yoga is to become whole. A yogi that achieves this is said to find a place of total awareness known as kaivalya. This also refers to freedom. In today's class, we will be focusing on an important freedom achieved by yogis, financial abundance. Inner success is only possible once our outer needs are met. A yogi's needs are often minimal. However, their motivation is so huge, they can and will create vast amounts of wealth for the purpose of benefiting others. They know the basis for wealth is generosity. They give unstingingly, and they give especially when times are tough. When they think about creating wealth fast, they think about who best to give to, when to give it, the joyful state of mind in which they give, and how they conceive themselves and the person they are giving to. To quote Master Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, chapter 3, verse 25, "The causes for reality and the person, however very distinct from one another these two may be, are no different. We experience them not because of something outside of ourselves, but as something from ourselves. Turn the combined effort upon this and you will understand the person." So, the best wealth management strategy is generosity. Hold this in your heart as we move through our asana practice together today. Please find your way into a comfortable, easy cross-legged seated position on the mat. Good. Rooting your sit bones into the mat. If you'd like, you can bring a prop underneath your seat to get your hips elevated above your knees. If you don't have any props today, that's fine. You can start by shrugging the shoulders up toward your ears. Take a big breath in. Exhale, let go. You can let an audible sigh out of the mouth as we fully arrive here together, bringing the palms lightly into your lap, having them face up in this gesture to invite more abundance into our lives, or have the palms facing down if you feel a little anxious and you need more of a sense of grounding today. I invite you to softly flutter the eyelids closed. Reach the crown of your head up toward the sky, maybe lifting the base of the skull, tucking the chin in ever so slightly to find length behind the neck, elongating your spine. Slightly squeezing the shoulder blades toward one another to melt open the heart center and relax the tops of the shoulders away from your earlobes. Start to observe your breathing. Notice the quality and sensation of air flowing in through the nostrils, perhaps a slightly cooler temperature. And then the sensation of air flowing out through the nostrils, maybe slightly warmer in temperature as it grazes the very tip of the top lip, becoming very subtle with your focus on the breath, observing its natural rhythm and cadence and quality. Sometimes when we are stressed, beat about financial abundance or really anything, our breath can be quite shallow. So let's see if we can deepen the breath by sending our inhales deep into the belly, expanding the ribs and the chest. Take an extra sip of air at the top and exhale completely, decompressing and anchoring ourselves into this present moment. And let's continue breathing these deep diaphragmatic breaths. Beginning to shift this energy and shift any preconceived notions we may have about what it takes to achieve financial abundance in our lives. The breath is responsible for moving our inner winds, our prana, which ultimately can shift our state of mind. Now let's bring our attention to the quality of the mind and how we're showing up to the mat today. Connecting with what it is that has inspired you to take this class today. Perhaps you've been working with a particular goal already, or maybe you want to start fresh with a new one. And I invite you to stretch and expand this motivation of yours, not only for your well-being, but for the well-being of all beings. Remembering that generosity is what manifests all of that financial abundance into our lives. You can now begin to deepen your breath, letting this intention of generosity and kindness toward others and toward yourself be what fuels your practice today. You can wiggle your fingers, coming back into this physical layer of our body on our mat. And when you feel ready, flutter your eyelids open, taking a moment to absorb in your surroundings, and we can get moving through our Vinyasa practice. We'll start with reaching the palms together overhead, pressing them together, reaching up tall. Inhale. Exhale, twisting open toward your left, bringing your left fingertips behind the sit bones and your right palm outside of the left thigh. We'll take 3 rounds of breath here. Maybe you'd like to activate your Ujjayi breath in through the nostrils, sit up tall, and then exhale, twist from your belly, starting to wake up energy at the navel center, building heat from within, the Agni, our inner fire, using the breath in to find space and the exhales to twist. Inhale, come back through center, reach your arms up, lengthen the sides of your body, give yourself a nice stretch. Exhale, twist open toward the opposite side, bringing your right fingertips behind the sit bones, left palm outside of the right thigh. Inhale, imagine like you have this string attached to the crown of your head, lifting you up. And on your exhale, little micro twists from the belly. Perhaps your gaze goes over your right shoulder. Soften the expression, keeping a sweet disposition. I always like to lift the corners of my lips. That helps to relax in between the eyebrows. Come back through center, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, bring hands down through heart center and palms down into your lap. Crawl your left fingertips out to the side and place the left palm flat down onto the mat. Sweep your right fingertips forward and then reach the right arm over the ear. So see if you can make that sweeping motion so we can draw the right shoulder back and keep the right sit bone rooted into the mat. We're opening up the side channel of the body now. Inhale, breathing into the right flank area, and exhale. See if you can reach a little bit further. Good. Maybe looking underneath the right arm, keeping the neck relaxed. If you have a lot of space in the body today, you can even bring the left forearm all the way down. We'll take one more big breath here. Exhale, folding over the legs and coming over to the other side, bringing your right palm flat down, using it kind of like a kickstand, and then sweeping the left fingertips forward, bringing the left arm over the ear. Relax the shoulder away from the ear. Take a big breath in. Feel your left rib cage expand. Exhale, reaching over, maybe bringing the forearm down and then drawing the left shoulder back. Beautiful. Enjoying this deep stretch here. See if you can keep your left sit bone rooted. It might be tempting to like lift off, like you're reaching for something, but we get the stretch when we're pressing away from the earth. Good. Come back to seated, stacking shoulders over your hips. We're just going to do a few wrist stretches because we'll be doing some vinyasa flows today. So making these 2 light fists, imagine like you're holding a butterfly in your hands and start to circle out at the wrists, going the opposite way. You can reach one hand back, breathing into the front of the wrist, and then the opposite hand. Good. Give it a shake, shaking off any self-doubt, any lingering distractions you might have. And let's come into an easy tabletop position on the mat, finding your hands and knees, separating the fingers wide, even pressing your knuckles into the mat. We want to find space behind the shoulders so we're not falling into it. So really like pressing everything that's on the mat away. Keep the knees underneath your hips. On your inhale, tuck the toes, drop your belly, lift your hips, lift your gaze. On your exhale, bring the tops of the feet down, bring your belly button toward your spine and round your back like a cat, tucking the chin slightly. Good. Moving with breath, letting your breath initiate the movement. Inhale, slowly undulate the spine. Open up your heart. Cow pose. Lift the chin, opening up the front of the throat. Exhale, rounding the back. Good. If you'd like, you can close your eyes down and incorporate any intuitive movements you wish to do here. Maybe adding in some head rolls or swaying the hips side to side. You can even make more of like a figure 8 serpentine movement. This is your chance to freestyle. Do whatever feels good for you as long as you're moving with your breath. I'm just a guide making these suggestions, and move with your breath intuitively. You could reach the fingertips toward you to open up the front of the wrists, keeping a soft bend in the elbows. And we'll do this for about 3 more rounds of breath. Good. On your next inhale, if you had the palms flipped, bring the fingertips to face forward, grounding through your right palm. Sweep the left arm up. Take a big breath in. Look up at your left thumbnail. Exhale, thread the left arm over to the right, lightly bringing the left side of the head down, pressing into your right palm. Good. You can reach the right fingertips forward. Again, pressing into the palm. Or maybe you want to work with binds today, reaching the right arm up, internally rotate it and wrap it around, reaching behind the back or even for the left hip crease. 2 more breaths here. Starting to unwind. Letting go of anything that's standing in the way of us achieving this financial freedom. Working through it. Good. Slowly unravel. Bring the right palm beside the face. Inhale, sweeps the left arm back up. Exhale, left palm comes down. Let's go through one cat-cow just to flesh that side out before moving through thread the needle on the opposite side. Come back to neutral spine tabletop position, grounding through your left palm. Inhale, sweep the right arm up, lean the right shoulder back, look up toward your fingertips. Exhale, thread right arm through the left, pressing firmly into your left palm. So we want the left elbow pointing straight up toward the ceiling, and the right side of the head is very gently down on the mat. You could even look over your left shoulder. Maybe doing the same variations you did on the other side. Reaching left fingertips forward, pressing into the hand, or inhale, lift left arm up. Always for binds, internally rotate. So we want to draw the thumb in and then wrap it around behind your back. You can reach for the hip crease or inner thigh and take 2 more breaths here. Breathing into the backs of the shoulder blade. Slowly unravel. Same way you came into the posture, left hand beside the face. Sweep the right arm up. Exhale, right palm comes down. 1 more cat-cow. Inhale, drop belly. Exhale, round the back. And now tuck the toes. Lift the knees off of the mat about 2 to 3 inches. Squeeze your belly tight for 3, 2, 1. Drop the heels toward the earth, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Giving yourself a few rounds of breath to shake the head. Lift the heels, stretch out your toes like you're wearing these stilettos. Lift your hips even higher. And then drop 1 heel down at a time, bending the opposite knee, pedaling out your feet, maybe adding in some little hip sways here and there. Take a big breath in through the nostrils. Exhale, release out of the mouth. Drop the heels down toward the mat. It's okay if they're not fully touching. You might wish to keep a soft bend in your knees, especially if you're having anything going on with the lower back. Remember to be gentle and kind to yourself throughout this practice today, never pushing or forcing anything to happen. Ground through your left hand, and with your right hand, grab your left shin, taking a gaze underneath your left arm. We'll stay here for 2 breaths. Keeping those feelings of loving kindness and generosity in your mind. Ground through the right hand in your downward facing dog. Left hand reaches for the right shin. Take a gaze underneath the right arm. You should feel this stretch in the mid-back area. So we're giving ourselves ample amount of time to open up in our practice before going deeper in our postures. Come back to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forward, and tiptoe your way toward the top of the mat. Take your time. Moving slowly, we'll meet in Uttanasana, forward fold, measuring hip width distance in between your feet with 2 fists. Keep a soft bend in your knees. Grab opposite elbows, gently sway side to side. Give yourself one little shake of the head again. Now release the arms, letting them become heavy in their sockets as you ground through all 4 corners of the feet to slowly roll yourself up to stand. Take your time. Stacking the spine vertebra by vertebra. Letting the head arrive last. And once your head has arrived, shrug your shoulders up toward your ears, draw them down the back, palms face forward, fingertips like electricity reaching through them. So don't just stand here, like really make this an active posture, remembering your intention of this practice and really showing up for yourself and for others. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms long overhead, Utthita Sthasana. Exhale, draping yourself over your legs, forward fold. Starting to move with your breath. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, fingertips at your shins, straight spine. Exhale, fingertips come down, step the right foot back into a low lunge. We can move forward and backward on the toes, getting some mobility in the ankle. Good, and then find a place of stillness. Gently drop the right knee down, point the right toes, clasp the hands on top of the left thigh. So our inhales, we're activating the pelvic floor up and in. And then the exhale, see if you can sink the hips forward and down. You can use the palms to press away the flesh of the left thigh to lean your chest back at the same time as squeezing the right glute in. Inhale, exhale, can you soften down? Good. Coming into that place of stillness in the mind, using your breath to keep you anchored in this present moment. Release the fingertips down to the mat and straighten the left leg. Finding half Hanumanasana, half splits. Flexing the left toes toward your face, pressing into the fingertips to lift the heart, and exhale, soften and release over the left leg, maybe relaxing your forehead down. Feel the left hip drawing back. Big breaths in the exhales. Bowing into yourself, honoring yourself, and all of the amazing things that your body can do. Feel this sense of gratitude for showing up to your practice today, working toward creating more financial abundance in your life and helping others get there too. You can crawl your way back up to low lunge, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, grounding through the right hand, sweep the left arm up, look up at your left fingertips, twisting from your belly. Bring the left palm down, step left foot to meet the right, high plank. Good. Now you can come down on the knees, chest, chin, or bring your shoulders over your wrists. So come forward on the toes, bend the elbows back halfway, hover for a moment, and then inhale, you bring tops of the hips down, lift the heart into cobra pose. Keeping the elbows close in toward the body. Good. Exhale, tuck the toes, move through hands and knees, lift your hips into the sky, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 collective breaths together here. Good. And your downward facing dog doesn't have to be super static. If you feel like shaking the head or doing anything that feels good for you here, go ahead. Make this practice your own and really meet yourself where you're at in your practice today. That could be very different on different days. On your next inhale, look forward. Take a big step forward with the right foot, finding low lunge opposite side. Maybe tenting the fingertips so you can get the top of your chest off of the right thigh, and then slide your left toes back a little bit more. If you're using blocks at home, this could be a nice way to bring the earth a little closer to you, but don't worry about it if you don't have blocks. Good, now we'll gently bring the left knee down, point the left toes, raising the chest up, clasping the hands on top of the right thigh. We're pressing away with the right big toe and the top of the left foot as we inhale. And the exhale, we sink the hips forward and down just a little. You can squeeze the left glute in. Getting into our hips, this is a place where we can carry a lot of our stress. So we hold the postures a little bit longer. And if anything comes up for you in the practice today, anything that's distracting you, maybe any worries about these potential financial abundance or lack thereof, be gentle and kind. Always come back to these compassionate feelings and remember where this wealth actually comes from, your generosity. Bring the fingertips down, flex the right toes, straightening the right leg, finding half splits, half Hanumanasana. Take a breath in to lift the heart. Exhale, fold into yourself, relaxing the forehead, drawing the right hip back in space, keeping a soft bend in the right knee, especially if the muscles in the leg are feeling really tight. Breathe into it. Good. Inhale, crawl back up. Great work. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, ground through the left palm as you sweep the right arm up for a twist, twisting from the belly, maybe even leaning the right shoulder back as you flex the left heel back in space. Good. Bring the right palm down, look forward, step the left foot to meet the right at the top of the mat, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and shine up, Utthita Hastasana. Find a little back bend if you wish. Exhale, let's come straight back down, forward fold. Moving through that, but adding on a little bit. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fingertips down, stepping right foot back into a low lunge. Straighten the front leg and fold, flexing the right heel back, and then come back into low lunge position. Dropping right knee down, point the right toes, finding Anjaneyasana. Reaching the arms alongside the ears. See if you can relax the shoulders, palms face toward one another. If the shoulders are feeling super tight today, you can always do cactus arms to keep your chest open. Or maybe you want to try Kali Mudra. Clasping the fingers, reaching the index fingers up, and exhale, hips go forward and down, maybe incorporating a bit of a back bend here. 2 more breaths. Fingertips come down toward the mat. Straighten the left leg, flex the left toes, half Hanumanasana. If you want to go a little deeper in this, you can reach the left heels forward, tuck the right toes and draw the right knee back, finding this front splits, bringing the fingertips closer toward the hips, and only going as far as is comfortable for you. So see if you can relax. We have a tendency to tighten up in other areas, especially in challenging postures. So be easy on yourself to come out of it. We press into the hands or our blocks, bring the knees in a little bit closer. Nice work. Frame the front foot with both hands. Find your low lunge position and inhale, sweep the left arm up. So we're gonna stay in this twisted lunge. Start to ground through all 4 corners of the right palm and roll onto the blade edge side of the right foot. You can start to step the left foot to the center of the mat or stack the feet, finding Vashisthasana, side plank. Options here, if you want more support, are to bring right knee down, still continuously reaching the hips up, or you can bring one foot in front of the other. Letting the neck be long. Good, maybe reaching left arm over the ear. Feel this length and the whole left side body. Good, staying for one more breath. Awesome, left palm comes down, moving through plank or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide your heart up for cobra. Exhale through hands and knees, finding downward facing dog, and we'll take 3 breaths together here. Starting to feel this heat and maybe feeling the prana moving through the body. Letting it work its magic to shift the prana in your mind, your thought patterns. Where we saw our initial ways to get financial abundance and allowing these new ideas to seep in. Picturing yourself doing these acts of generosity, maybe making a promise to yourself to be more kind and generous, not just when you're doing your yoga practice, but off the mat as well. Inhale, look forward and step your right foot forward, finding low lunge. Exhale, straighten the right leg, fold, bowing into yourself. The left heel stays slightly lifted. Come back to low lunge, gently bringing the left knee down, point the left toes, raise the arms alongside the ears, Anjaneyasana. Remember, you can find the back bend. Choose your own adventure today, whatever you want to do with the arms, but relax the shoulders. Breathe in. Are you infusing joyful effort into your practice? And envision the wealth that will come your way when you become this generous and kind person. And picture what that means for everyone else in your life as well. Bring your fingertips down, straighten the right leg, flex the right toes. Staying in your half Hanumanasana, or if you did so on the other side, slide the right heel forward. Bring the left knee back, walk the fingertips closer toward the hips. Finding a front split. Breathe in. Exhale, soften and relax down. So if you do have those props at home, this could be a good place to bring them underneath the hands or underneath the right thigh. We'll spend 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. Finding a graceful way to come out of this posture that's sometimes a little bit of a tricky one. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, ground through the left hand as you inhale and sweep the right arm up. So we're setting up to do side plank, other side. Really make sure you're grounding through all 4 corners of the left palm as you roll onto the blade edge side of the left foot. Stack the feet, Vashisthasana, or move into same variation you did on the other side, knees down or 1 foot in front of the other, and reach the hips up. You can reach the right arm over the ear. Feel this nice long line, the whole right side body. Bring the right palm down. Find your high plank, moving through your vinyasa, knees, chest, shin, or coming through chaturanga. Inhale, maybe finding upward facing dog, knees off the mat, legs very active here. Exhale, squeezing belly button toward the spine. Hips go high into downward facing dog. Let's take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh out of the mouth. Releasing a tiny bit of the heat that we just built. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, flutter the lips. Shake the head. Breathe in through the nostrils. Exhale through the nostrils, coming back to that oceanic sounding breath, the base of the throat, Ujjayi, containing the heat in the body. Bend the knees deeply, look forward. Step, step, or float to the top of the mat, finding half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise up, press palms together overhead. Exhale, bring the palms through heart center, arms alongside your body, find Tadasana. Go ahead and close the eyes down. And see if you can resist the urge to fidget. So we don't need to fix our clothes or hair. I want you to just observe what's happening inside these deeper, more subtle layers of the body. I like to picture as if we're shaking up a snow globe with our asana practice, moving all of this energy. The winds in the body, this prana life force shifting through you, almost like this sense of adrenaline, and shifting the inner landscape of the mind. And remember what you're imprinting your mind with today, planting these seeds of financial abundance and acts of generosity, both toward yourself and toward others. Flutter your eyes open, come back into the space, reach the arms up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, lift up halfway, straight spine. Exhale, plant your palms. You can step back, or if you want to float back to chaturanga, land in bent elbows to protect your wrists. Inhale for your back bend, lift your heart. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. One breath together here. Good. Inhale, lift the right heel up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring knee to nose, rounding your back leg in cat pose, drawing your shoulders over your wrists, and squeeze your belly tight. Inhale, kick up and back. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Press the mat away so much, squeeze the belly, maybe even lifting knee toward the underarm. Good. Inhale, kick up and back. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, holding the twist for 3, 2, 1. Extend the right leg out to the left side. Drop the left sole of the foot down. Press through the right palm. Lift your left arm up for fallen triangle. Good. Staying here just for 3 breaths. If you want to be extra spicy, maybe you lift the right heel up just for 1 more breath. Left palm comes down. Kick the right heel up and back. Open up the hip. Staying here, or maybe stepping back, finding wild thing, lifting your hips high, look back at the right palm. Slowly transition back to three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, look forward, step the right foot through, low lunge. Good, making sure you're linking breath with movement. Drop the left heel down. Windmill the arms up, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Your hips should be open to the left side of the room and let your arms be like an extension of your heart. So reaching energy through the fingertips, little soft inner knowing smile over your right fingertips as you inhale. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Good. Really feeling this sense of empowerment in your strong warrior 2 pose. Coming back to that intention, becoming very clear about the seeds that you're planting to manifest more financial abundance into your life. Good. Letting that be planted now as we inhale, reach the right arm up and back, peaceful warrior. Left hand goes down the left leg. Good. Exhale, softly bring right elbow onto the right thigh, finding space underneath your right rib cage. Sweep the left arm over the ear. So again, we're reaching through the left fingertips, pressing back through the blade edge side of the left foot, and see if you can keep your right knee over the right ankle. Stay for 3 breaths. Maybe you turn your gaze to look underneath the left palm. Awesome. Left palm comes down. Lift the left heel. Sweep the right arm up for a twist. Bring the right palm down. Step right foot back to plank, or keep right heel lifted in line with the hip for 3-legged chaturanga. Inhale, both tops of the feet come down. Lift your heart. Exhale, squeezing the belly button toward the spine. Downward facing dog. Whew. Feeling a little bit more warmed up, letting this purify anything that's holding you back in your practice. Any of these preconceived notions of how to achieve this wealth, and fully believe in your efforts, infusing this playful energy and joy into your practice. Well, let's go through that on the other side. Inhale, sweep the left heel up and back, 3-legged dog, keeping the left hip dropped down. Flex the foot strongly, like you're kicking something behind you. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, knee comes to the nose. Rounding the back leg in cat pose, shoulders come over the wrists. Inhale, kick up and back. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Squeeze the belly, maybe lift it a little bit higher. You've got this. Inhale, kick up and back. Exhale, left knee across the body toward the right elbow. Hold for 3, for 2, 1. Kick the left heel out to the right side. Right heel drops down. Press through the left palm. Find your fallen triangle. So squeezing the hips up continuously here. Imagine like you're reaching for something with the right fingertips. And if you were going with that left heel lifted, squeezing for 2 more breaths. Right palm comes down. Kick the left heel up and back. Exhale, yawn the hip open. Staying here, or stepping the left foot back. Coming into that wild thing, rock star pose. Lift your hips high. Slowly transition, kicking the left heel up and back. And look forward, step the left foot through, find your low lunge. Good, moving from the foundation up. So always finding that steady grounding posture before rising up to a standing posture. Drop the right heel down, cartwheel the arms up. Warrior two, opposite side. Good, hips are shining open toward the right side of the room. This time, let's flip the palms, creating these little cups with our hands and envisioning what you're filling these cups with. Inhale and exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Good, envisioning the ways you'll be creating financial abundance in your life, both now and off the mat. Inhale, flip the front palm, peaceful warrior, right hand down, right leg, legs stay just as they were in warrior two. Exhale, hinge forward, lightly bringing left elbow onto the left thigh. Open up the heart first, so draw the right shoulder back, then sweep the right arm over the ear. Really pressing back through the pinky edge side of the right foot and reaching for something with the right fingertips, maybe turning your gaze underneath the right palm. And don't forget to breathe here. Awesome. Right palm comes down, lift the right heel, sweep the left arm up for a twist. Exhale, left palm down, step left foot to meet right plank or three-legged chaturanga, moving through your flow. If the vinyasas feel like they're a little bit too much today, don't feel bad about it. Just skip one, maybe go straight into downward facing dog or rest in a pose that feels good for you. Good. And now let's bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, step or float to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise up. Exhale, hands come through parrot heart center. Arms by your side, Tadasana. Taking that time to reconnect to your breath, maybe closing the eyes down. Beautiful. Let's get a little deeper into the hips now. Just a gentle vinyasa to find our way there. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, swan dive over the legs. Lift up on your inhale halfway. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank, and then just lift the hips into downward facing dog. From here, lift the right heel up and back. Open up the hip by bending the knee. Breathe in. Exhale, look forward, bringing the right knee behind the right wrist, right ankle behind the left wrist. Slide your left toes back a little and then point the left toes. See if you can keep your right foot flexed. And if the hips are super tight today, you can draw the heel in closer toward you. If the hips feel a little bit more open, you can bring the shin parallel to the top of the mat. Bring your fingertips closer toward your hips. And now take a gaze over your left shoulder. You want to make sure that the ankle's not sickling, so the toes are pointing straight back. Turn your chest to face forward. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, coming down incrementally. We're going to spend 10 to 12 breaths in half pigeon. As I mentioned before, we carry so many emotions and frustrations in our hips, so this is our chance to let all of that go. Let this old story of how and what's been standing in the way of our creating more wealth in our life, release it. Letting these detoxifying postures work their way through your body, but also work their way through your mind. Breathe in to find space. Exhale, maybe coming down. You can make a little pillow for your forehead and send all of your breath into the right hip. And as we stay here for the next 6 rounds of breath, really surrendering into this posture and seeing if you can maintain your focus on your intention and goal. What is it that you want freedom from, and how are you going to achieve this freedom to all the wealth that you desire? And see if you can extend the length of the exhales. We only have 2 more rounds of breath. Amazing. Slowly rise the chest back up, using your hands to guide you. Good. Press the right palm into the center of the mat and kick your left heel up. This could be enough for you today. If you want to go a little bit deeper, reach the left arm up and then grab the inside of the left foot, kicking into the left hand, pressing into the right palm. Breathe in, exhale. So you should be feeling this in like the front of the left thigh, front of the hip. If you want to go deeper in a different variation, you can bring the left heel a little closer toward you, being mindful, always pulling out of it if it feels a little too intense. Amazing. Let the left leg gently come down without crashing. Come onto your right hip and sweep the left leg around, stamping the left foot outside of the right thigh. You might want to wiggle your way back into the center of the mat and get nice and tall in the sit bones. Press your left big toe into the mat. You can stay here and reach the left fingertips behind the sit bones, propping yourself up nice and tall, so like a kickstand. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, twisting from your belly for a seated spinal twist, maybe hooking right elbow outside of the left thigh, or simply hug your left knee in. We'll spend 5 breaths here. Each breath in, lengthen the spine, and exhale, twisting at the belly. That's where the twist comes from. So these twists are really good for detoxifying and massaging the organs, purifying. And the breathing might be a little constricted here, so making sure you make a point to take deep breaths in, nourishing the body, and exhale, releasing. Turning your gaze over your left shoulder, maybe even shifting the gaze beyond, stretching the eyes as far as they can go to the left. And relax, slowly unravel. Maybe coming into a little counter twist on the other side if you wish. Come back through center, bringing the legs behind you, finding high plank. And you can move through Vinyasa if you wish to flesh that out, or go straight into downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths here. You might notice that the right leg is tingling, maybe even feels slightly longer than the left. We're going to even that out on the other side. Using our practice to find more balance and equilibrium in both the body and the mind. Inhale, sweep the left heel up and back. Exhale, yawn the hip open by bending the knee. Take a breath in, look forward. And exhale, bring left knee behind left wrist, left ankle behind the right wrist. Slide your right toes back a little bit and then point the right toes. Good. Flexing the left foot strongly. One hip can be very different than the other, so if you need to do a different variation on this side, that's totally fine. Good. Bring your fingertips a little bit closer toward your hips, lifting your chest tall, and then take a gaze over your right shoulder. This is just a nice way to make sure that the leg is in line with the hip and the ankle's not sickling, so we want the toes pointing straight back. Turn your chest forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, we fold over. Take your time. So we have those 10 to 12 breaths here. Really utilize the breath to find space on the inhales, and exhales come down. Good, breathing in. Exhale, maybe finding forearms onto the earth. Inhale, lifting belly button toward the spine, and exhale, draping over the front leg. You can make that pillow for your forehead, and we'll stay here for 6 more rounds of breath and make these long and deep breaths. We really need to release anything that's lingering, standing in our way. Coming into this mental clarity when we release any physical distractions in the body. And already you can rejoice in the fact that you've made it here to the mat, putting in these joyful efforts into creating more abundance in your life. And don't hold back on this vision. Really paint this picture of everything that you want to achieve. One more deep breath in. Exhale. On your inhale, press into the hands, gently guiding yourself back up. Place the left palm in between the mat and then kick the right heel up. So maybe staying here, or inhale, sweep the right arm up, around, grabbing for the inside of the right foot. Bring your thumb around as well. And then you're gonna kick into your right hand. You might feel a nice opening in the front of the right shoulder as well, top of the right hip, right thigh, and just gaze forward, finding that soft inner knowing smile, keeping this positive quality and tone to your practice. It's all about how we're applying our efforts too. We want to feel good about the things that we're doing, or else what's the point? You can find a deeper variation by bringing the right heel in just for 2 more breaths. Nice. Slowly let go of the right leg. Let it come down gently. Sit onto the left glute and sweep your right leg around, stamping right foot outside of the left. Let's find the way back to the center of the mat. Good. Press through the right big toe. We don't have to keep pressing it, but just so we are pressing everything away, and then sit up tall on both sit bones. Reach the right fingertips behind the sit bones. The closer they are in toward the sit bones, the more we can find length in the spine as we inhale. Lift the left arm up. Exhale, twisting to the right. Twist from your belly, either hooking the elbow or just giving your right knee a hug in. 5 breaths here. Good. Breathe in. Exhale like we're wringing out this wet towel at the center of the body, getting rid of any last bit of negative views of how we're going to achieve this abundance in our life. Creating space for something new. Looking over the right shoulder, maybe even looking beyond, stretching the eyes. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale. Slowly unwind the body. Come into a little counter twist on the other side. Amazing. Bringing the legs behind you. Come into high plank. Moving through one last vinyasa if you wish, or going straight to down dog. We'll meet with our hips in the air. Shake the head a little. Bring the knees down. Together touching. Point the toes. Sitting the hips toward the heels. Forehead comes to the mat. And wrap the arms alongside your body with the palms facing up in a seed pose. Just feel your shoulders melt open to either side. If you had any constricted breathing, now you can just resume your normal breathing. So no more ujjayi breath. It's time to cool down the body. Slowly roll yourself up to sit on your heels, hero's pose. Hands can come on top of your lap, facing up in this receptive gesture, thinking of all the incredible things that you're inviting into your life by moving through this asana practice to create more financial abundance. And now you can bring one hip down, extend the legs long in front of you, scoot your butt toward your heels, reach your arms long in front of you, hollow out at the belly, and we're going to roll down for a count of 5, 4, take your time, 3, 2, and 1. Once your head, neck, and shoulders touch the mat, you can hug your knees in toward your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rock from side to side. Massaging your lower back. Good. And then bring both soles of the feet down onto the mat. Extend your arms alongside your body. The fingertips graze your heels, so maybe walking the feet a little bit closer in toward your glutes. Good. On your inhale, lift the hips, pressing through the feet, the arms, and the palms of the hands. And let your knees be pressing forward so the knees don't come out to the side. You're actually relaxing the glutes here too. Let's not find this crunching. We're pressing through the feet, feeling this release in the lower back, and being mindful not to crunch the neck. So just looking softly up at the ceiling, or maybe looking toward your belly button. We'll hold for 3 more breaths. Beautiful. Let's come down together, slowly rolling down, vertebra by vertebra. Once your tailbone is resting on the mat, knock your knees together, separate the feet mat width distance, and you can just windshield wiper the legs from side to side slowly. Good. We're going to have one more opportunity to go into a bridge pose, or if you have full wheel in your practice, let's do it together. Bring the feet back hip width distance, palms facing down. Inhale, come into your bridge pose. So you can either stay here or maybe clasp the hands underneath you, walking the shoulder blades together. Or if you're going into full wheel, flex the palms so the fingertips are reaching up, bend at the elbows, and now bring the palms beside the face, fingertips facing toward your body. Good. Make sure the elbows are pointing straight up toward the ceiling. As you lift up, come onto the crown of the head first, and then inhale, straighten the arms, finding this full expansion in the chest, pressing through the big toes. Imagine like your hips are never going to fully reach their destination, so we're continuously reaching. Maybe you lift the heels and walk your feet a little bit closer in toward you. Drop the heels down. Staying with me for 3 more breaths. You've got this. Good. Fully opening up your heart. Thinking of all the loving kindness you're going to offer to others with your acts of generosity and what this means for your abundance. To come out of this posture, tuck the chin first. Make sure you come down slowly, 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 slowly without crashing. And let's all roll down the length of the spine. Knock the knees in together. Yay, the hard part is over. Separate the feet, mat width distance, and just place one hand on your heart. Place the other hand on your belly. Close your eyes down. Feel your heartbeat. Feel this life force moving through you. In our deep back bends, there's a tendency for the heart to race. So maybe lengthen behind the neck, tucking the chin in, and focus more on your exhales. Big breaths in through the nose. Exhale, audible sigh out of the mouth. Decompressing and gifting ourselves this time now to unravel and unwind and absorb the benefits of this practice. On your inhales, breathe into the bottom hand. Feel your belly rise. And then breathing into the top hand, feel the chest rise. Take an extra sip of air at the top. Exhale through the chest, belly, decompressing. Take 2 more rounds of breath like this at your own pace. Start to heel toe the feet toward one another, letting the feet come together to touch and allowing the knees to open up to either side for Supta Baddha Konasana. If the hips need a bit more support, you can always roll up blankets or pillows or blocks underneath the knees. Otherwise, just allowing them to fall open to the side. Closing the eyes down, keeping the hands on the body for more of a sense of grounding. As we spend about a minute or so in this juicy, restorative posture, well-deserved after all of that hard work and joyful effort applied into your practice today. Maybe we can use this time to envision our mind as that vast open space of possibilities and feel really good about all of the awesome seeds that you planted there today. And get excited about what's going to ripen from them. Maybe you've been envisioning this wealth in your life and the amazing things that you'll do with it, and who will you share it with? Feel the muscles and bones of the body begin to get heavy. There's no more efforts we need to be made in our postures, at least. Find this sense of ease and peace wash over you, and this warm, fuzzy feeling inside permeate your entire living and breathing vessel. If Supta Baddha Konasana is a delightful pose for you to end your practice in today, I invite you to stay here as you are. Alternatively, you can start to extend your left leg down the mat and then your right leg, keeping the hands on the body for more of a sense of grounding, or reaching the arms alongside the body, palms face up, taking up as much space as you'd like in our final resting pose, Shavasana. Close the eyes down completely. Swallow and release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Allow the bottom teeth to separate from the top teeth and the eyes become heavy in their sockets. Relax the corners of your lips. Soften the creases of the forehead. And feel the weight of your body melting into the earth as we prepare to go back to the inside world and absorb the beautiful efforts that you've made in your practice here today. And recall your initial intention of this practice. Letting this intention become more flexible and stretch far and wide by now dedicating your practice to someone else. Bring to mind someone who wants the same thing that you do, financial abundance. And instead of only working toward this goal for ourselves, think of one thing that you can do to help them achieve this same wealth that you seek. Sharing this peaceful exercise and opening your heart wide open with loving kindness. And recognize the wealth that already is existing in your life. Feel a sense of gratitude for the work that you put in today and the work that you will put in the future. The universe will offer its gratitude to you in return for this type of dedication. Carry this feeling of appreciation and awareness with you into the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and beyond as you start to deepen your breath. Preparing to emerge into the outer reality, keeping your eyelids heavy, just becoming aware of the room that you're in. Become aware of the temperature on your skin and the clothes on your body. And the feeling of your body resting here on your mat, fully supported by the earth beneath it. Invite in small physical movement by giving your toes a wiggle, rubbing the fingertips together, maybe letting the head gently drop over to one side and then to the other. Circle out at the ankles and the wrists, and eventually reach your arms long overhead, reaching your fingertips back, reaching your toes forward. Give yourself a nice, awesome, long stretch. Exhale, release. Bend one knee at a time, bringing the soles of the feet onto the earth and roll over onto whatever side of your choosing in a fetal position. Bringing the knees in close, using your bottom hand or arm as a pillow. And with your eyelids still heavy or softly open, taking one more restful breath. And using your top hand to guide you back into an easy cross-legged seated position. Press the palms together at heart center, bowing your chin into Anjali Mudra to honor your hard work and effort done here today. And let's seal our practice with one Om mantra. Breathe in. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful energy with me today. When you feel prepared, you can softly flutter the eyelids open. I hope that this practice has created more space in your mind to have freedom from any financial stressors and freedom to getting all of the financial abundance that you deserve. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon on the mat.